question card. What is my next one? My next one is Black Adam. That's my next one.
My son sacrificed his life to save me. These powers are not a gift, but a curse. Born out of rage. So I'm out to them.
This loose cannon needs to be locked down before innocent people start getting hurt.
He's been asleep for 5,000 years.
You find us a cell that can hold him, we'll take care of the rest.
Who's on the team?
I didn't bring a passport.
You don't need passports. We're the Justice Society.
There's a war going on outside when you ain't safe from.
Black Adam.
We're here to negotiate your peaceful surrender.
Heard about at least 3 killings this afternoon.
I'm not peaceful. Nor do I surrender. Here we go.
This is one we watched in theaters.
So much like The Rock, it's not important.
It's not important. This is in a weird time, in a weird place, in the DCEU where they don't know what they're doing. They don't know where this is going. And this is during that brief period of time. And it's very funny to watch James Gunn try to spin his way around it, where The Rock tried to take over the DC movies. The hierarchy of the DC universe is changing forever.
Will never be the same. Because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
The Rock refused. He produced this, and he refused to have Black Adam fight Shazam. So a huge chunk of this movie makes no sense. It really comes across in the script that Hawkman was supposed to be Shazam, but he's not. The inclusion of the Justice Society is another one of those, like, wait, so if a whole group of people were, and like it tries to do like this is the first time that they're getting together thing, but it also severely undercuts it by implying that the Justice Society and Hawkman and Dr. Fate have been working together for like decades at this point. And so you're like, wait, so then why didn't it just feels like Dr. Fate would have been able to stop Zod. He feels like he could have very easily stopped Zod. And really the combo of him and Hawkman and the original Atom Smasher, who I completely forgot is Henry Winkler, which is very funny. I just feel like they could have stopped Zod in culmination with Superman. I feel like if they all worked together, they could have stopped Zod.
Some sort of team, like perhaps like a league of some sort.
Or I mean, if they're not ready for
society,
a society of some sort, they could have stopped Zod. Yeah. And like, no, this movie's not good. This is a very bad movie, and it ends with I think probably the worst post-credit scene in any DC movie. Not necessarily in a Marvel movie because they've had some stinkers, but like certainly in a DC movie, the post-credit scene of, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this movie, everyone knows this scene is infamous, of Henry Cavill coming in and saying that him and Black Adam are going to do a big fight is genuinely terrible. Like at the time, I was so taken aback by the fact that it was Henry Cavill Superman, and I was so enamored with the notion that maybe he might come back. I was distracted away from the technical aspects of that scene, but it's really fucking weird.
Okay, Black Adam. My name is Amanda Waller. Congratulations, you have my attention. This is gonna be your only warning. You don't want to stay in my prison, that's fine. Kahndaq is your prison now. You step 1 foot outside of it, you will not live to regret it.
There's no one on this planet that can stop me.
I can call in a favor and send people who aren't from this planet.
Send them all.
As you wish.
It's been a while since anyone's made the world this nervous. Black Adam. We should talk.
Like, it's Superman is framed as though he's a bad guy because Black Adam is the good guy of the movie. He's framed sinisterly. So, like, the music is sinister. Amanda Waller's like, yeah, man, if you don't listen to me, I'm going to have someone come in and beat you up. And then Superman shows up and he's like, Black Adam, if you don't behave, I'm going to beat you up. And he's, like, framed chest up. The lighting is dark. His entire demeanor is aggressive. It's super fucking weird. It's very threatening, and it's not Superman in a way that nobody noticed because they were so distracted by the fact that it was Henry Cavill. Like, it is truly atrocious. That all having been said, there is kernels of a good movie in this. That's what's really frustrating about it. Like, again, I guess maybe it's because you're right. I watched an actual bad movie earlier in the week. Maybe it's because I watched Supergirl and it was, like, incompetently directed. This, like,
I feel like you're being really harsh.
it's incompetent. It's bad. This is at least competently directed. Like, you can see, like, anytime any of the action sequences are, like, actually fun to watch and dynamic. When Black Adam slaughters guys, like, there's a really sweet sequence, like the way they make him look, like the way he moves, where he's there one moment and then he just moves really fast and he's got a guy by the throat and he's like lightning people, like that initial sequence when he shows up and he just slaughters all those soldiers is kind of sick. Like, it's really awesome, and like the visuals are interesting, and like it looks cool. The story is crap and the script is bad. And like you said, it's really apparent that this is 3 different scripts that have been mishmashed together into one monstrosity of a script. It's got a bunch of different disordinate ideas. Again, it's weird that, like, this has the Shazam guy from Shazam in it. So it's got Dijon Mustard, the guy who played the wizard in the first movie, Damon Hanzu or whatever his name is. He's in this as Shazam. And there's a bit where basically the plot of it is, like, they're from Wakanda, not Wakanda. I forget the name of the city. They're the place. They're the country they're from. But in this movie, it's Wakanda. And they need a big old hero. And all of the Guardians give the powers to this kid. And you think that the kid is The Rock the whole time. And then in the third act, big twist, you find out that the Rock's kid did a bunch of superhero and stuff, and so the evil king killed his mom and was about to kill the dad, and so then the Rock's kid gives the Black Adam powers to Black Adam, and he turns into Black Adam, and you find out that he actually used the Black Adam powers to kill the king and slaughter everybody in his rage, and the Shazam people trapped him inside the Rock in, like, a prison, and like, everyone knows about him, but nobody goes, yeah, you know, but there is that kid in Fawcett Town or wherever the fuck Shazam is from. There's that kid who has remarkably, you know, it's interesting how he looks just like the guy who looks just like this.
No,
it's red.
You're thinking too much into it.
It's
no,
red.
No.
Jordan, it's weird how there's that guy who looks just like you who's red.
It's a total coincidence.
And it's really obvious that, like, at one point, like, there's this message of, like, you need to use your powers for good, and, like, there's this the Black Adam is like, you know, you may do things one way, but I do things my way, and it's just really obvious that this message was going to be delivered by Shazam, but The Rock refused to let Shazam be in it for some reason, which I don't understand, because Shazam
ego.
No, but the thing is, like, he's sharing the screen anyway, but now it's incoherent. Like he's still sharing. If you're like, oh, it's ego, he doesn't want to share the screen with Shazam, but he's sharing the screen with the Justice Society, who show up and hijack the fucking movie anyway. So like, why not have it where Amanda Waller is like, sorry, nose itchy, sneeze. Apparently, we're both sneezing today.
I understand.
Oh my god, I don't know.
I've been there.
I know. I was there early. I was there even before that. Why couldn't it have been like Amanda Waller is like, I have a guy who can do this, and she sends in Shazam to fight Black Adam, and Shazam sucks and gets his ass whooped by Black Adam, and then you still do the whole bit with Sabak, because interestingly enough, the bad guy of this movie, I don't know if you remember the bad guy from this movie, Jordan.
No, not really.
Basically the what? Basically there's like very long story, very very short. There's like one of the main characters in this is a woman, and she's working with some guy, and you think that guy's a good guy, and it turns out no, he's a bad guy. He wants the evil MacGuffin, which in this case is a crown, and like if you put the crown on, you get demon powers, but it doesn't seem to work. And then it turns out that big twist, that in order to get the demon powers, you have to put the crown on upside down and die and get killed. And when he gets killed, he gets sent to the demon world or whatever, hell or whatever, and the demons are like, oh, the Guardians have their champion, well we have our champion, and then they all give him, like, you know how like Shazam has like the power of whatever, Zeus, Solomon, whatever, it all spells out Shazam.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Shazam a Captain Marvel bad guy who he has all the demon powers, and his the demon powers spell out Sabak. And I thought he was a bad guy created specifically for this movie, but no, he is in fact a Shazam bad guy. There's like 3 or 4 different versions of him over the course of, and it's made all the more confusing when you're like, wait, but wasn't that Dr. Savano from the Shazam movie? This movie, it just doesn't work because Shazam exists in this universe, and the movie wants to be like, this exists in the same universe as Shazam does. And so Shazam could have gotten his ass beaten by Black Adam, and then he could have turned back into Billy Batson, and then he could have been standing over top of him, and he could have realized that Shazam is like just a kid. He's like, oh, he's just a kid, just like my son. And then as he's about to kill Shazam, he could be like, oh, or Billy Batson, he could be like, oh shit, I've gone too far. My son wouldn't want this, and this is not how my son would want to use my powers. He's just a kid like my son. And then he still gives up his powers. He still goes and gets put in jail by Argus, and he still gets taken away. And he still has the moment where he realizes he needs to be a hero or whatever, and he breaks out and he goes and he fights Sabak. And then Shazam and Black Adam can team up and they can fight Sabak together, just like he does with the Justice Society. The Justice Society effectively do the same thing as Shazam would. The only difference is they look the same. Like, I don't understand why Shazam isn't in this movie. I don't understand why there's references to Black Adam in Shazam's movie. Like, Shazam should have been the bad. Like what they should have done is they should have had Shazam 1, this movie, and then he should have fought Black Adam in Shazam 2. Why didn't that happen? And I know you're gonna say ego, but it makes this movie frustrating.
One part ego, one part studio meddling.
I don't think it was in this instance. I don't think it was studio meddling. Well, yes, in the sense that The Rock is the studio. I think that there is The Rock meddling. Like there's a lot of very famous anecdotes of how The Rock tried to force himself into meetings with DC, so that basically he wanted to be, you know what James Gunn is now?
Yeah.
He wanted to be that. And he came in and he tried to basically undercut James Gunn. That's why James Gunn, if you see in interviews, James Gunn will be like, somebody with like an implication, somebody came in and did this. Like, and tried to do all this underhanded shit. So I think it was way more dramatic than even we know. Like, I know that Henry Cavill was like, he won't talk about what happened, but he was very famously, supposedly, why he's in this is because him and The Rock have the same agent, and the agent tricked him into this by convincing him that he would be in more Superman movies. So they misled him into being in this when James Gunn was already
misled.
Sorry?
It's a fancy way of saying lied.
He was
They
lied
lied to him.
Yeah, they lied to him. And like, there's a very famous story of how the James Gunn had to bring in Henry Cavill after this debacle, and apparently they shot it in like one day. Like, nobody knew it existed. Like, apparently it like blindsided James Gunn, and they had to like bring in Henry Cavill and be like, we're so sorry. Like, we're so sorry. There's room in here, but just not. We want to start clean. And apparently Henry Cavill was very amenable. I think personally, see, I don't know. I think the thing that prevents, besides his ego, because there have been rumors that The Rock has talked to James Gunn. I think Black Adam will come back. I think that The Rock will come back, or the Black Adam will come back as the Rock. I think that will happen. I think what is hindering that is, ironically, I still think it's Shazam, but I think it's because nobody likes Zachary Levi. Like, he's went on this weird pity me, nobody wants me after the Shazam 2 bombed. He made the mistake of blaming the audience and being like, it's the audience's fault. They just didn't get it. They just didn't understand what we were going for. And he's gone like full anti-vax, pro Donald Trump MAGA. And I just think that James Gunn being so anti that, I think he doesn't want to bring in Zachary Levi. And I think that's what's holding back that character in that universe. Which, again, is a shame, because the first movie's good, and he's a fun character, and I think he would, like, I really like his dynamic in the animated movies. We're going to talk about the animated movies later. But I like the notion of he's a 12-year-old. Like, if I were them, I would just not do the kid again. I would just have him stay as Zachary Levi in subsequent appearances. But, like, yeah, I think those characters are wasted. But I do think there is a chance that The Rock might come back. And I wouldn't be against it. I would be against seeing David Cornsweet Superman and this version of Black Adam, because I think the lesson of Black Adam, you can't just kill people who are getting your way. I think that lesson will work better with David Cornsweet Superman.
I understand.
I just don't think that the Henry Cavill Superman is the Superman to teach that lesson.
No, I think you need a more innocent one to connect with the childlike innocence of Shazam.
Exactly. But yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see. I can separate art from artists, but it would be kind of neat to see. Yeah, Shazam. I think a cameo in Man of Tomorrow. I think that's a spot to like start cameoing some of these superheroes who like you're unsure what you're gonna do with. I think, yeah. But anyway, that is Black Adam. Hey there, everybody. It's NCAR Justin here. Does anyone else remember that time when the hierarchy of power in the DC universe was supposed to change, or whatever? Let me know what you thought of Black Adam down in the comments down below. But in the meantime, if you'd like to see the full podcast that this is from, our DC season finale, you can click the box on the left. Or if you just want to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out 7 days a week. Or you can just leave this video a like. That helps us out too. We'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.